All right, very excited to be with Richard Francis today, the CEO of Spotlight Reporting. And we're going to talk a little bit about the move from compliance to advisory and why it's so important. But first, Richard, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, thanks, Amy, and I'm thrilled to be here. So, Richard Francis, CEO of Spotlight Reporting, founded the company nearly 10 years ago now. We've been the number one reporting and forecasting app partner for Xero for most of that time, working in with Intuit and Sage and MYOB and other great companies as well to bring reporting and forecasting goodness to accountants, advisors, CFOs, and anyone who's really wanting to do more with their data and present great outputs and have great conversations with clients and stakeholders. So that's what we do, and it's a great mission. We've got offices around the world and a passionate team. So empowering an industry and hopefully changing the flavour of what people do in accounting and advisory.
Awesome. So, one of the things that I love about Spotlight Reporting and what it does for accountants to really think about visualization of data differently and how they have those conversations is a lot of times when I'm talking to accountants about moving from compliance to advisory, trying to pull yourself away from that Excel spreadsheet and what you're used to doing. And there's a disconnect a lot of times because if we've been accountants for a long time, how we valued ourselves was doing all those calculations on spreadsheets and the 40 hours it took us to do that. And something like Spotlight Reporting can sync the data and then it does all those ratios for us. And there is a difference between what we value versus what the client values. And the client values the answer. And they want it as fast as possible. So, how do you help accountants that have been used to doing all those calculations themselves and moving, having those discussions when they've done it all to trusting what's coming out of Spotlight Reporting and being able to have the conversation that way?
Yeah, you've hit on a really important point there, Amy, because there is that element of if I've got my hands in the bowels of the machine and I'm creating the formulas and I'm spending days doing something that frankly could be done with automation in minutes, then particularly if you're on time-based billing, it's a real challenge to go, golly, I just did that forecast in 45 minutes, and kind of still having the guts to actually charge the right price, the value price, not based on the time you've put in. But just back to your point about Excel, I mean, we all still use Excel. We're all addicted to Excel. It's got its place, absolutely, great product. But there are so many things now that with the data coming in from Xero, and we've been bringing data in from Xero and Intuit, QuickBooks Online, MYOB for years and years and years now. We have thousands of reports done every month by 2,000 accounting firms and CFOs, without fault, without issues, without downtime beyond scheduled stuff. So I think the days of people worrying about kind of where's the data, what's coming in, what's not, are pretty much gone. Apart from there is that cardigan wearing kind of anti-cloud, anti-advisory cohort that will take time to warm up to the message, just as they did back in the day. But they are coming out of the woodwork. They are seeing that this is a great opportunity for them too, and the chance to be doing great work for their clients faster and more effectively, and frankly far more attractively, with tools like Spotlight, where the customers actually understand the outputs and are engaging with the accountants because of that. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I think, for me, I just was thinking back on my career and, I started out as an auditor and decided so I decided to start my own business, and originally it was a QuickBooks consulting business, and it was totally on accident because I was looking to start a bookkeeping business, and then I saw an ad with another accountant, and it showed their QuickBooks certified logo. And I was like, oh, I should probably get that. That looks good.
Yeah.
And so I got that. And then I was getting these questions from clients that I wasn't expecting. They didn't want me to do the bookkeeping. They wanted me to answer their questions. And so as I started marketing my business, and this is when this wasn't cool to do as a CPA, I would network with tax accountants that didn't want to do what I did, and I didn't want to do the tax. And so I would send them the tax and they would send me the advisory work. And I remember the stigma of like just trying to get over that what I was doing was really important. And I think for many generations, that move from compliance to advisory, not necessarily maybe many of the younger generations, but those that have been in the accounting profession for a long time, is how do I value myself as an advisor? I never saw this as a career path before, and I never looked at this work as high value.
Yeah, it's the paradox is it's the highest value work we can do, and yet
Absolutely.
sometimes we're allergic to it. Very similar story to mine, excuse me, to mine, Amy, in that when I started Francis Consulting, my boutique practice before Spotlight Reporting, we didn't even advertise ourselves as chartered accountants because we wanted to do advisory work. We wanted to do strategy and mentoring and bring all that business experience and expertise to the table, you know, having been exposed to that at a big firm and having lots and lots of kind of cool clients over the years. And, you know, the accounting work came, so we hired someone to do the accounting work. We outsourced some of it as well. And that allowed the two or three of us kind of who wanted to do the cool stuff to do that. And the value was not only in, you know, high effective hourly rates from doing that work, but was from the light bulb going off above the client's head when we were actually talking about things that mattered to them. And I remember setting up a system really where I was goal setting with clients, business, personal, and financial. So I gave myself the permission to talk personal goals with clients, which some CPAs still struggle with, because if you're only talking about financial,
you don't make that connection.
Yeah, you don't make the connection, but you're missing the fact that really what that entrepreneur, whether it's a female or male, might want to spend more time with their kids, or might want more wellness in their life, or they want to double their salary and work all hours that, you know, the world brings us. But if you're not asking those questions and you're not listening, actively listening, which a lot of us accountants and advisors struggle with because we like talking, you're missing so much opportunity to be transformational for your clients.
Absolutely. Well, I am so excited to have been invited on a webinar with you on August 21st. So we're going to talk more in depth about the steps of moving from compliance to advisory, and it's at 2 Pacific time. So I will have the link with this video so people can register and go deeper into this conversation.
Lovely. Looking forward to it, Amy.
Thank you.
Cheers.